Tonight, you might call the girl of the moment, or as the famous song for her famous sitcom says, the week, the month, or even the year. She has a new movie, Friends, last season. The Put Yourself reality of Brad Pitt as her husband. But it occurred to us, as much as we see of her, we don't really know what's under the famous skin. So tonight, getting to know the real Jennifer Aniston.
Looks like Stella's gonna get her groove back tonight.
Hard to believe she's been making us laugh for 10 years.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
You got the wind in your arms.
I mean, isn't that just kick you in the crotch, spit on your neck fantastic?
The fresh-faced girl every woman in America wanted it to be.
I'm going commando.
The funny girl every man in America who lived next door.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Yet, back in 1994, she was just one of the tiny tribe of unknown actors walking onto stage 5 at Warner Brothers. Aniston, only 24, already bore the scars of 3 canceled series. But everything changed that first night when she made her first entrance into Central Perk.
I just want to be married again.
Quirky, high-strung Rachel, wandering into the lives of her new best friends.
Oh, God, hi, thank God. I just went to your building and you weren't there, and then this guy with a big hammer said that you might be here, and you are. God. Monica, hi. Why did I talk up here? That whole show, I noticed I'm talking up here.
Nervous?
I must have been.
Flash forward a season to episode 31.
Little memory lane.
Memory lane.
You had no right to tell me you ever had feelings for me.
A romance begins and a comic duel.
And you know what? Now I got closure.
A poignant retreat heading straight toward that historic first kiss with Ross.
Try the bottom one.
I forgot how kind of powerful that little scene was.
Days now, till the final episode is taped.
Yep.
Have you thought about the morning after?
God. No, I'm just hoping I'll get through the night. You know?
Just say the word friends, and to her dismay, the tears begin.
I'm a fan. Yeeps. I should have a shock thing around my neck, like those dogs when they start to bark. When I start to cry, I just get electrocuted. Tell me, what kind of guy are you?
No matter that Jennifer Aniston has plenty to distract her. A new movie coming out this week, a riotous comedy, Along Came Polly. She's the eccentric, free-spirited Polly who loosens up a straight-laced Ben Stiller.
I actually like this.
You do?
Yeah, it's good.
Think The Odd Couple meets Something About Mary on steroids.
You mind if I use your bathroom?
What is your threshold on intestinal disorder jokes? Are you an easy laugh? Do they get you every time?
I'm such an easy laugh. I'm the one who has the fart machine and the fart sludge, and that's the stuff. And I make a pretty big fool of myself laughing ridiculously hard.
It's one of her great strengths that even when the laughs are broad, something about her stays mysterious. Is she a little bruised by life or seriously shy? Sitting with us, she's utterly charming, but also a little restless, about to run away.
I'm absolutely uncomfortable. I mean, you couldn't be sweeter and kinder, and I'm just
miserable right now.
I'm not miserable. I don't know.
And the reigning cover star of so many magazines says, whatever you see on camera, don't be fooled. The little girl with pudgy cheeks and frizzy hair still lives inside.
So the fact that I all of a sudden became a hair, what do you call it, like... Thing. Is kind of ridiculous, because I never had good hair. It was always frizzy and kinky and purple and blue and awful.
She says until 10 years ago, she was an obsessive dieter.
I was always a yo-yo dieter. I was a chubbier kid.
But did you do drastic things to diet?
No. Oh, was I like bulimic or anorexic or no? But I was a diet-aholic, definitely. Grapefruit diet. I remember there was the watermelon diet. There was the white grain of rice diet.
Jennifer!
But these days, she says, it's different. She works out 3 to 4 days a week and has learned to make eating about life now, not a reaction to the past. A father who broke up the family and a volatile mother.
I want to say to all these young girls, there are so many struggles that everybody has, especially when it's like you don't know what you're filling up. Are you filling up a void? Is it your father leaving? Is it your fear of failure? Is it that I will never be that thin? I will never be as beautiful as you, whoever you are? And I think once you figure out your, who you are and what you love about yourself, I think it all kind of falls into place eventually.
What do you love about yourself?
I love a lot about myself.
Let me count the ways.
Let me count the ways. I am a good problem solver, and I'm a good mediator. And what else do I like about myself? I'm not a yeller. I like that. I worked hard on that. Not to be a yeller.
And from Bruce Almighty
The first time I ever saw you.
to rock star, Aniston's insecurities off-screen are transformed to stunning confidence as an actor.
I said to myself, oh my God, that guy's got it. I mean, my heart stopped.
This is that quiet little movie called The Good Girl. She won critical raves as a clerk in a discount store, wandering into adultery in a one-way life that could only circle back.
I was looking at you in the store, and I liked how you kept to yourself. I saw in your eyes that you hate the world. I hate it too.
My instinct was just right away, it was fearless. I have to do this. And then the fear sets in, you know. I don't mind not having a lot of confidence, truly. I mean, that sounds really weird, but I like my stumbling. It sort of leads me to great places, you know. I'm intimidated by really confident people. I like people that have a little bit, you ask questions who aren't so sure. I always feel more comfortable. I'm not riddled with fear either. I'm sounding like I'm this like big old scaredy cat. You know, but
you're not even confident of your fear here.
I'm not even confident of my fear. Damn it.
At one point, Matthew Perry, I think it was Matthew Perry, said something about you.
You know, Jenny's a really hard worker. You know, Jenny, while being very sweet and stuff, has had some stuff in her life that she's had to address, and she just has, you know. And so, right in front of all of our eyes, I've watched Jen blossom into just this beautiful woman.
Thank you, Benny.
What was it?
Everybody has their demons to sort of wrestle with. Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, there's a lot of problems out there that are a lot greater than mine, but, you know, stuff. Just stuff.
You look as if it hurts.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
When we come back, loneliness, meeting Brad, and her anguish over the central relationship in her life.
Once again, Diane Sawyer.
We interviewed Aniston in a hotel suite overlooking all of her hometown, Manhattan. Landmarks for a girl who never dreamed what was ahead.
And you went to school over there.
I went to school over there, and I went to school over there at Lincoln Center, behind Lincoln Center Performing Arts.
Right, and you lived up there.
Yeah, lived up there, 92nd, Columbus.
In the Jackson Hole at which you waitress.
85th in Columbus.
Yeah. Were you a good waitress? Good.
I was not very graceful, but I had a lot of customers.
She even had a stint as a telemarketer.
What kind of telemarketer were you?
It was for timeshares in the Poconos. And I was awful because I felt so terrible that I was interrupting their dinner. They would yell and scream at me, and I would apologize profusely and hang up. And I didn't make any money at all.
Last year, the former waitress and telemarketer topped the Forbes list of the most powerful stars in Hollywood, a salary reported at $35 million a year.
Are you good with money?
I am, yeah. And I like to spend it, but I'm good with it. I do remember saying, though, I will never be financially dependent on a man. That was determined.
A lesson, she says, learned from her mom, Nancy, a former model. Her father, a Greek-born actor, John Aniston. In the early years, she says, they had a home filled with laughter.
What's your favorite memory of your family growing up?
My favorite memory is when they would have poker parties. Because my dad was and still is on a soap opera, and their actor friends would come and sing songs around the piano and play games, play charades, and they were just fun people.
Like her godfather, another Greek, Telly Savalas. But when Aniston was 9 years old, she says one day she came home to an emotional knockout punch. As she remembers it, out of nowhere, her mother simply announced that her father had left. She and her mother were now on their own.
That's how you found out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from a birthday party. He was quick. There 1 minute and boom. Yeah. I think it was like ripping off a Band-Aid. Probably be easier that way than a sit down and a whole, So it was pretty quick.
For an entire year, her father pretty much vanished from her life as he pursued a new relationship. And it seems Aniston's wounds were hidden by her new role as class clown. Rebellion came later. Wild hair, too much makeup.
Just cover up as much of myself probably as I could, I think,
Were you lonely?
Yeah. I always have a thread of that in my life, feeling that loneliness. Not as sad lonely, but just like, I like it.
At home, the vulnerability of a classically beautiful mother, pointing out that her daughter's eyes were too close together, her nose too big.
She was doing me a favor. She's helping me out by telling me these things. Hey, give me hints, helpful beauty tips.
Right.
Just saying, it wasn't about this is what your problem is. It's here, this is how you can help that. That's probably why I wore so much makeup. I mean, my mom wore makeup. Beautiful, beautiful, exquisite woman. She doesn't need it, but,
But she says she and her mother were joined at the hip until the mid-90s. By now, the awkward duckling had become a superstar and was in a desperate fight to have some privacy in her life, free of the prying, ever-present paparazzi. But she says her mother first gave an interview to a tabloid show, and then later in 1999, against her wishes, wrote a book about raising her now famous daughter. To Aniston, it seemed like the kind of exploitation even your friends avoid. It would cause a bitter 8-year rupture that lasts to this day. Aniston has refused to read her mother's book and hadn't seen the photos from it, the ones I had in my lap.
Oh my God, where did you get that?
I got that out of the book she wrote.
Oh, Jesus, I've never looked at it.
Look at those others.
Wow, I never saw this. Sorry. See, isn't she gorgeous?
Absolutely gorgeous. You said, my mom is very warm, loving, nurturing, wise, funny, and old-fashioned. And when it got rough out there in terms of the career, she was the one who said, keep going, keep going.
Yeah. She did. And she is all of those things. She made a mistake, and I don't think she knew any better, obviously.
But are you surprised at yourself that you can't
Let it go?
transform it, redeem it?
I've definitely tried. I made the efforts, and I sort of started, you know, that stubborn thing of, well, I tried enough. Now it's your turn, you know? And so maybe that's where we are. And like I've said, now we're sort of all standing in our corners just waiting for the other to approach, probably.
What's the sentence you most like to hear her say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I get it. It's that simple. But like, I really get it.
Instead, she has a kind of family formed by a circle of loving friends from the old days, before sitcom stardom. At what point they interrupt the interview.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
What's that? The telephone?
We just got sidekicks, my girlfriends, all 6 of us. And
It's a pager.
That's a howl, because, you know, you howl, we're girls, we howl. Oh, it's so unbelievable. Should we see who it was?
Yeah, let's see who it was. Let's see if there's a message.
They're loving on me.
Oh.
Wishing me luck with Diane.
And there's someone else who is said to be looking for a way to heal the rift between daughter and mom. Her husband, Brad Pitt, who's famously close to his own parents. But on the day they got married, while Aniston's father was there, her mother was not invited. Nancy Aniston has still never met her movie star son-in-law.
Yeah, I never thought my mom would not know my husband.
You know, listening to you talking, everything you've said so far makes me think that forgiving your mom, you're just about there.
Something that Brad has taught me, you know, forgiveness is a hard...
So hard, it's even a hard sentence to finish.
One thing Brad would always say to me is, you know what, we're just going to do the best we can.
When we return, is Jennifer Aniston making an announcement or just dreaming out loud?
You said after Friends, I'm going to have children.
Yeah, this will be probably the most important job I'll ever do, having a baby.
When Prime Time continues.
Why is it so hard to believe that famous marriages and famous people live in the end where we all do? Joy, annoyance, quirks, and happiness earned one anniversary at a time. At one point, I told Aniston that I had a clip from someone I'd talked to 6 years ago. Someone who was just a heartbeat away from a first date with what would turn out to be the girl of his dreams.
Who's this going to be?
Oh! The topic was love.
Love is work, and so you got to make your choice if that's what's most important to you, you know? And you got to be honest about it if you find yourself going another way. That's all. It's very simple stuff, honesty. Yet it seems to be the toughest thing to grasp. Honesty with yourself, how you're really feeling, honesty with others. Otherwise, you're better off alone. Don't waste someone's time.
You go. He's lovely. Who is that?
It was 1998 when Jennifer Aniston first went out on a date with Brad Pitt, arranged only in Hollywood by intuitive matchmaking agents.
You knew right away?
Yeah. We both did on our first date. It was weird.
Did you say it or just think it?
No, thought it. I thought it. That's weird. That was a really easy evening. That was really fun.
Because you said at one point, this has been the hardest year of my life as well as the best. This was in the beginning of the marriage.
It's hard, just getting used to the idea that you're married and am I ready? There's always this am I ready question. I don't know. I thought I was ready.
Once again, that's classic Aniston. still loving to question and search, even when she knows she's living every girl's fantasy. She and Pitt recently moved into a 12,000 square foot house redesigned by him.
And do you love having a big house?
Yeah, but I loved having a small house. I love having a room. Like, this is great. I love a hotel room. That makes me happy. I love that we have a dining room. I love that we have a room that we can, you know, because we love being in the same room. It's funny, we got a house with more rooms, and yet we still stay in the same room together.
Who's more neurotic, you or him?
Oh, me.
You're a sleepwalker?
Uh-huh.
Serious?
Yeah.
I mean, like...
I woke up one time outside of my house with the alarm going. The alarm woke me up. And I was out by the pool equipment.
Really?
It scared the crap out of me. But yeah. And Brad screaming my name because the alarm's going off and I'm not in bed. He was terrified.
Do you talk a lot, too?
I talk, yes, in my sleep. Very busy. Very busy in my sleep.
And is he jealous?
Brad?
Yeah. Who's more jealous?
I think we worked on that one. We got rid of that one. I mean, I think jealousy is healthy to a point, but no. We've worked on that one. We've knocked that one out.
It was very interesting because at one point somebody asked you recently, I think W Magazine, if he was the love of your life. And you hesitated.
No, I didn't hesitate. That was something that I hated reading. I can't imagine being with any other human being. I married him because he was the love of my life. And, you know, he's the most fun I've ever had. So when these things are written in magazines and taken out of context, and it's so frustrating because people then take it and run with it, or if you don't, God forbid, thank them at an award ceremony. I mean, Jesus, we were divorced and moving into different homes.
When are you gonna have a baby? Are the friends really friends? When are you gonna have a baby?
That's Jennifer Aniston on Saturday Night Live just last weekend, getting her licks in at the paparazzi who pester her constantly about her marriage and about babies. When? How many?
What are you gonna do when Friends is over? When are you gonna have a baby?
You said after Friends, I'm going to have children.
Yeah.
Is there still a duel between his 7 and your 2
Oh,
to 3?
no, I think that's gotten blown way out of proportion. I think we'll probably, you know, who knows? We'd definitely love to have 2, at least. Some brother and a sister.
What's wrong? Did you lose your keys again?
No, they're just not where I left them before.
In the meantime, her new movie, Along Came Polly, is a kind of comic holiday. As we said, about a girl who is restless and questions everything. A girl who reminds you a lot of, well, Aniston.
Would you like to go to dinner sometime?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You know, I'm not sure. I gotta check my schedule.
But she says what really interested her was not self-portrait, but a shot at doing the salsa with old friend and co-star Ben Stiller.
The salsa dancing.
Little dirty dancing.
Little dirty dancing. She's kind of quirky. I just wanted to work with Ben.
But next week, Jennifer Aniston will be working with 5 of the actors she knows best in all the world. And for the last time. When we come back, she tells us something secret about each of her friends, something they don't even know about themselves.
But when we come back, more with Jennifer Aniston.
It is hard to find the word. What was Friends? Friends was...
Find out how she sums up a decade of laughter and loving. After this, from our ABC stations.
Before we leave Jennifer Aniston, the valedictory to that television phenomenon. As most of us know, next Friday the cast will be taping the final episode of the sitcom. And you kind of believe that I'll Be There For You is not just the lyric to their song. So we asked Aniston to go one by one and tell us something each of her famous friends doesn't even know about themselves.
I just realized this may be the last time we're all hanging out together.
We started by asking about Courtney Cox.
Absolutely, let's all talk.
It's something she doesn't know about herself.
Yeah.
She does not know how gorgeous she is. Has no clue. And I'm not talking physical, because that's right there in your face when you see it. It's all the way through.
What the hell was that? Just wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
Lisa does have a big, huge heart. Whether she likes to say that she's very cold and standoffish, but she's like a warm fire.
Would you please just...
And what about Matthew? What doesn't he know?
That he's all right.
Perry has had a tough battle with addiction.
He struggled.
When it hit, his fellow actors tried but didn't know how to help.
We didn't know. We weren't equipped. We weren't to deal with it. Nobody had ever dealt with that. And, at the idea of even losing him, or he's having a road, but he's all right.
I saw a woman breastfeeding both of her twins at the same time. It is like a freak show up here.
And Matt?
I wonder if he realizes the depths of his talent. He's got a lot more in there than just being funny. We tell him all the time how adored he is and how all the girls love Maddie.
Hello, Mrs. Ross!
And David?
Schwimmer? He knows everything. He's doing just fine. No, again, that he will make, does he not? I wonder if he believes that he'll make an amazing husband, and I think he will.
And Jennifer?
And she is... that she's okay. She's all right, too.
What was Friends? What was this thing?
It is hard to find the word. What was Friends? Friends was fantastic. I bet I'll be able to say it was the time of my life.
Everybody, this is Rachel.
If Joey Chandler walked in right now, we could make a fortune.
I think I'm falling in love with you.
Aniston's new movie, Along Came Polly, opens around the country tomorrow.